converted my truck over to electric. No, just kidding. I'm about to do a 2-year oil change. 2 years ago, I bought this truck, traveled 3,000 miles, visited family, and one family member actually owns this business. And if you know anything about the 6-liter F250s, well, I should say just 6-liter engine, they are sensitive to oil. And I had a white one before, 2004 F250 with a 2005 6-liter engine in it. It was just 2-wheel drive. Then I picked up this gem, this 2006 King Ranch. Anyway, so oil is a big deal on these trucks, specifically because of the engine, the way the injectors operate, and on the fuel side, the same is true. The way the injectors operate and the lubricity of the fuel is really important. And you know that oil changes can get very expensive. So we're sitting at, well, the first oil change was supposed to be at 137,000 miles, and that's when I took the Motorcraft oil from the dealership when I bought this truck in 2019 and changed it to this Diamond PAO. Now I'm sitting at 153,000 miles plus. So subtract that difference, that's the mileage that's on this oil. Effectively, September 2019 is when I changed the oil, and it is September 2021. I'm changing the oil, same oil actually, and this is the same bottle. This is the old stuff or the old bottle. So we'll take a look at what the oil looks like when I get it drained. So I realized before I drain the oil, I should talk about the filters that I had running on this. I had this France filter system installed when I was visiting that family in 2019, and it worked great until it started leaking. So as a point of frustration, I don't want my new-to-me truck leaking oil, and so I removed it. It's a great idea. I just don't want the added risk of oil leaks. Pretty impressive setup here for the oil pressure to go into the filter system, the France filter system, and then return going down into the filler tube for the oil. So it's kind of cool. Just quick disconnect. I'm just not using mine. I haven't used it for about a year. When that oil leak started around the O-ring, you can kind of see it. So anyway, I wanted to show that before I crack things open and get the oil draining. And I'm going to go ahead and pop open the main oil filter. You can see right there on the turbo tube where the oil spewed from the quick disconnect. That France filter that I'm not running anymore. So yeah, just be aware if you're buying that kit. Just make sure you keep a good eye on things when you're running your truck. Of course, you should if you're running a 6-liter. And these things can be the cheapest diesel you can own, believe it or not, as long as you maintain it. And well, now I've learned, especially if you use this oil. So see what this filter looks like. I'm sure it's pretty nasty, full of carbon. Yeah, we'll just let that drain so I can crack open the oil pan plug and get the rest of that draining. Okay, this is going to be the fun, messy part. I also wanted to point out that I don't have any issues with this truck. Injectors being the biggest problem, and before I bought this truck, for emission testing I had to take it to a shop, and they told me the prior owner had paid for brand new injectors in 2017, so I have no idea what the mileage was at the time. But I'm actually not changing this oil for any other reason than time in the motor. I could have sent the oil or sample of oil out for testing just to see where we are with it being able to retain particulates from carbon particulates from the ignition or the combustion of the fuel. But whatever, I've got extra oil, and I got plenty to do here. I was originally planning on doing all my cars, but really I've only put it in this truck because out of all the vehicles, this is the one that I drive daily, and I want it reliable, and so far it has been fantastic with this oil. Someday when I'm a movie star, I'll actually have camera equipment and just use my phone, and this just makes this oil change much more fun. Let's see what happens. Ooh, look at that. Into this somewhat clean bucket. It looks worse than it is. I actually did wipe it out. It's clean, so we'll see. What I want to do is when this oil cools, I took a sample of the oil 1 year ago and did a fun little lubricity test, my own homebrew type deal, and flow test with those temperatures. I did go back and look, but I want to cool this oil down over time and then see how it flows and so forth. Right now it's pretty nasty black, so yeah, but it feels fantastic. It's smooth. Again, the only reason I'm trying to change this, is because of time. And hopefully my container is big enough for this oil, because I might have to stop it, and which means I'm going to make more of a mess. What will it do? I think I'm in trouble. Alright. There we go. Okay, crisis averted. Got another container. This wonderful little bucket to finish up the oil collection. And away we go. I'm sure that's super exciting for you guys to see. Anyway, what's the cool thing about this oil is it's full synthetic. It's not the BS that you get at the auto parts store. You don't even have to believe what I'm saying, because you can do your own research and how the standards of oil have changed. But this is a PAO oil, and it is true full synthetic. That's why it is not wearing down. Normal oil that you get wears down. The ability to suspend carbon particulates eventually wears out, and that's still true for PAO. But the difference is oxygenation, right? Where the lubricity, the slipperiness goes away in your traditional garbage oil that you get at the auto parts store. Now, it's not really a problem because you're supposed to change your oil, right? But it makes you wonder, though, if we were running full synthetic oil in all of our vehicles, how it would save fuel and a lot of other things. Yeah, just think about that. But looks like we're just about done here. Before I get from underneath the truck, I just want to show you the plug. Just some grime, carbon grime there on the tip of the plug, which is awesome, which means the oil is working and it's about at capacity for absorbing the contaminants from combustion. So that's pretty cool. Pretty typical. Do an oil change, you always get oil spots in the driveway. Alright, there it is. This is magic elixir. Now, I know some of you motorheads or gearheads, whatever, I've heard about the France oil filters and how they are a benefit. And oil, full synthetics, and the value there. Again, this is a true full synthetic, based off ratings for like industrial applications. It's 50,000 hour oil, and whereas like a normal car oil for like your standard daily drivers, that's a 5,000 hour, which translates to mileage. There's some formula for that. But the point is this is industrial grade oil that you can buy from Hot Shot Secrets. And I did some tests on a mower once. I added the additive, the lubricity additive. That's right there on the right. And measured a 1 dB difference in sound from the engine. That was kind of cool. I did the same thing for my white truck, which I don't have here anymore, obviously. I just have this blue truck, but stuff works. It's pretty cool. Mileage, I'm doing all right on this thing. It's not tuned or anything. Don't be fooled. I just painted the oval black because it was all faded and blue. Faded blue, chipped. Anyway, I'm getting about, I don't know, around 14 miles per gallon. I live in Colorado. I pulled this trailer with this oil through the mountains. I would say about, I don't know, 12 camping trips, which is pretty gnarly given the grades here. So all in this oil, and I don't know, I was a skeptic too. So part of me is still a little bit of a skeptic. I mean, this oil has actually been doing really good. So I just wonder how long it does actually last if I tested it more empirically or send it out for testing. There's a company that's affiliated with this Hotshot Secret company that does oil testing. And they have my original samples, and maybe what I should do is go ahead and send this sample out. I'm just going to keep this oil, actually. I'm going to use it for my old Dude's diesel tractor, Bobcat. Pretty cool. Bobcat 500. It's like the third model Bobcat ever came out with. So it's a classic. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to keep this oil. It likes to leak oil, so why not have it leak nice full synthetic oil. That way all the internals stay nice and lubricated, since there are no parts for that engine anymore. Anyway, more to come. So this is the rest of the other fun part, right? Changing the oil, getting the oil filter out, and all the fun mess that comes with it. So I'll let it drain while I drain the oil pan. So hopefully we're not going to get too messy. Let's see. No surprises, no shinies. That's awesome. Alright, time to put the new one in. I can pause my video. Pause. Guess my gloves are just too oily. Fun times, alright. Well, if you didn't know what a new filter looks like, it's yellow. Cool. Alright. Now I gotta figure out how to pause this thing so I can actually pull this out. This is fun. So there you have it. If you're still watching this video, well, awesome. Yeah, these billet caps are nice. Better than those plastic ones. I don't know really who sells them. This one is, let's see, I got it with the kit for the France filter. What's it say on there? Filters.com. Okay, so cool. If you didn't know, that's what's a provider. Hey, there's another 6.0. That's cool. Alright, let's get some oil in here. Now, fun fact, when I got all this oil, I didn't get enough for 2 oil changes on a truck. I had some for the truck and 2 of my cars, which means I'm about 3 quarts shy. So I'm actually going to use 3 quarts of the used oil. Cool, I guess. Anyway, I'm not worried. Again, the truck runs awesome. The oil's been fantastic. And yeah, let me get pouring the oil in now. So, got the cap off and my funnel in place. I've been told by a wonderful old-timey RV hauler that actually uses these trucks that if you got a spare engine laying around, and obviously as an RV hauler traveling and racking up mileage, oil changes are frequent, that you could just take a spare fill tube from a junk 6-liter and screw it on top and extend it so it's easier to pull. I don't have that, so regular funnel it is. Look at that. And for all you oil change specialists, Yes, I'm holding this jug the wrong way to pour it. Oh my god. Oh well. Anyway, so here's your fun shot of me pouring this oil in. Let's see if I can pause this now so I can actually hold this. My arm doesn't get tired. And in true fashion, that's 12. 4, 4, 4. 12 quarts. And the truck liked it so much, I donated some to the ground, so that is freaking awesome. Like, it doesn't have an oil change, it doesn't spill oil. But yeah, I was trying to hold the filter and pour at the same time, and I missed. Anyway, fun times. Now, to take 3 quarts, because I need a total of 15, out of this old stuff. So, and so there we have it. I added 3 quarts out of the bucket. You can see the fill line. Interesting thing though is this oil, because of the sample I took last year, I put it in a glass jar actually, and the oil eventually just settles to the point where the glass jar is just super clean. So here's an example. This is a 1 year sample, and notice how the oil is just straight to the bottom. There's no real residue or anything on the walls. So it's fascinating with viscosity versus oil thickness and how this works. But nevertheless, it works.